Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? I am in the studio doing a photo shoot that I want to do for stock. I've had this idea for a very long time, and the trash can that is in this photo shoot, I was just doing my tax return stuff the other day and adding up the expenses that I did in 2021, and I found that I bought this trash can for this photo shoot back in June. And many of you may know that my office became our bedroom because we were doing some house remodeling stuff. And so the whole summer was just a waste as far as shooting in the studio. And this trash can and this idea has been sitting on the shelf for a long time. I'm finally shooting it today. I'm going to throw a mask away like we're throwing a mask in the trash can. So I'm hoping that I'm not too late as far as a stock idea, a concept idea, on everybody pitching their face masks. I think I was a little more on the ball back in June, but we're going to shoot it anyway. And then I got another version or two of the trash can shot that I will put together today. But the biggest thing about the shoot today is we're going to use the Fuji app, and we're going to try to shoot quote unquote tethered. We're going to be wireless, shooting to the X-T4. There's some great advantages to that. I highly suggest shooting tethered to some kind of device, a computer or an iPad. In this case, I'm going to use the iPad. I want to perfect shooting to the iPad on location, so we're going to play with that today, and we're going to take this stock shot. So let's go do it. Once I got everything set up and got the app working, it's pretty nice. It's super nice to be able to see a bigger image, to watch it pop up. If you notice, I'm in the photograph taking it, and my hand is there holding the mask, so I can trigger the photograph from the app over there in the set. That's a super convenience. The only other way around that would be put it on a self timer, run into the shot, and not be able to see where my hand is positioned. There's a little bit of a lag as I'm, positioning my hand, but if I'm patient, you can actually see it live, and that's fantastic. I think the shots are a little bit overexposed, so I'm going to simply go, let's see if I can show this, pretty simple. I'm going to go to the f-stop. At the moment I'm at 8. I'm going to go up to 11. We'll start there, maybe back it off a little bit if that's too much underexposed, but I think that's going to be about right. Hit OK, change the settings. Let's go shoot another one. Okay, first little hiccup with the app. Took that shot, it went blank, and I'm kind of stuck. Okay, so the problem with the disconnect is my iPad jumped from the Wi-Fi connecting to the camera to jump to the Wi-Fi here in the office, and then it lost the connection to the camera. I tried to restart it or reconnect it to the camera, and that's when I realized the iPad had grabbed the Wi-Fi from the room, so I had to retell the Wi-Fi which device we were searching, and once I did that, we're back in business. So let's get going again. And it lost connection again. Reconnected again. Okay, so every time I take one photograph, the screen then goes blank, and I don't... Well, there it came back. Maybe I'm just not being patient. Okay, that seems to be working pretty well, although there is definitely a lag with this particular iPad, which is older and maybe is part of my problem, but eventually it did come back up. And you might be asking, I'm in a studio, why am I not tethered to my bigger computer? The biggest reason for me at this point that I want to be doing it on this laptop is because I want to perfect this, shooting to this iPad for the sake of being able to do it on location. I'm not going to be able to drag my big, huge computer on location, especially if I'm outside somewhere and I don't have the ability to plug it in. But if I could get efficient with shooting to this, that would be fantastic for shoots like that. So I'm doing it here while I'm in a controlled environment to kind of perfect the process. And there's all my shots. I'm going to look through them, make sure I like it, make any adjustments, and then we're going to do some other versions of this particular trash can shoot, not just with the mask. I've got an opportunity, I've got everything set up. I might as well just take some generic trash can stock shots. Okay guys, so like I said, the huge advantage to shooting tethered to anything, whether it be wirelessly to the iPad or wired into a computer, a laptop, or something that you bring on location, or a bigger computer in the studio, it's a huge advantage because you get a bigger image. Let me find a more appropriately, I can zoom in here, make sure the sharpness is right, make sure that the details are there, make sure my lighting is the way I want it. I've got this nice highlight on this side, and the things are working the way I want them to work. A whole lot easier than looking at a little screen on the back. The other significant advantage to shooting something like this is if I had a client here, I could be shooting from the camera, the client could be holding this, watching it as it comes up. I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but it's a little bit embarrassing to tell a client, hey, look at the back of my camera, and it's this small little screen. And I can't tell you how many times I've had a client say, well, I can't really see it on that little screen. And you're left saying, well, trust me, it's all there and it's going to be beautiful. If they can see a bigger image like this, that's impressive. Especially, I think, on a commercial job when you've got a higher end client who knows what good photography is and they can see it big like this. I think that's a huge advantage. The other thing that I've not been able to do this because, like I said, I'm still kind of perfecting this. If I do a portrait shoot, sometimes my wife will go with me, and she's a great addition to make sure people are looking good. If she can be holding this while I'm at the camera, she can be studying the images on a bigger screen, and finding, this person's, collar is out of place, or a necklace is not right, or something's needs to be changed in the image. And she can easily see it without having to come and look at the back of my screen or me stopping in the process. And so a lot of advantages to shooting tethered, being able to see it in a bigger scale and make corrections. For those of you who are into the lighting setup, let me show you really quick what I've got going here. I've got the X-T4 on the studio stand. I've got one softbox hanging from above. I've got one smaller softbox off to the right. I just got a simple folding table here with a white piece of, it's not cardboard paper necessarily, but white sheet of paper. The trash can itself, power pack on the floor, and just a white seamless in the back. And if you come around down here, I've got a third light. I was trying some different gels. Got a diffusion material on the front of this, just a simple I don't know, whatever that is, 8-10 inch parabolic reflector, just shining up at the background. Okay, my one frustration with this, because I just got kicked off again, the iPad grabbed the Wi-Fi in the room, had to go and reset things up again. Outside of that, which is a frustration, trust me. The other frustration is just the delay. And it may be that I've got an older iPad here, but if I was shooting something quick, if I had a model in front of me, or I had, children for sure, you do not want to have to wait a couple of minutes between shots to make sure you see everything. I love just being able to, and there it is. I mean, that comes up pretty quick, but it's going to make a liar of me. There it went a little bit faster. So I maybe the frustration is that it's kind of hit and miss. It kind of works and then it kind of doesn't work. But again, worth it for a shoot like this because I've got a controlled situation. It's a subject matter that's not moving or anything like that. So to be able to see it on a big screen is certainly worth it. Okay, one thing I want to do, I want to try to get a crumpled up piece of paper that I drop, catch it kind of as I'm dropping it in the trash can. We'll see how easy that is to do, and I don't know if the delay and the tethering will be a factor or not, but we'll get that done, and I don't know. Maybe it'll be a cool shot. Definitely way too late. Okay guys, so let me just point this out. See this little indicator flashing here? I'm a little leery to turn the camera off, pull the memory card out, put it into my big computer and look at these images because it might still be writing. I should look up what that's doing, and if I push the play button to see what's on the card, yeah, nothing's coming up. So a little leery about that. Hopefully everything is all right. Okay, so unfortunately that light flashing on the back of the camera I think meant that it was processing and it never stopped, and I eventually had to turn the camera off, and I think I lost, well, I know I lost that last image where I actually think I got the drop right. So I've reconnected. We're going to try it again because I really like that drop shot. And then the last one I think I'm going to get is just a piece of paper, crumpled up piece of paper, well, not necessarily by itself, but not my hand in it. I'm going to cut it out and I'm going to make it kind of have a blurred trail. So there's basically 3 images that I'm going to try to get out of this whole thing. Let's try the drop again. I got it the first time. I can get it again, but we got to make sure it gets to the card. Yeah, all right, let's go. I think I got it. So on a scale of 1 to 10, the Fuji app for this particular shoot, I've had success with it before, but on this particular shoot, I have to give it at best maybe a 3. It kicked me off many times, and it kept grabbing the Wi-Fi here in the room, and I talked about that a little bit, and I'm wondering if maybe because I'm in the room where the router is at, in fact it's like right over there, if that was the proximity of it, it was so close that it just kept grabbing it. But anyway, I had to because it disconnected from being connected to my camera, I had to keep redoing that. One frustration that I had being kicked off like that over and over again is I initially started at f8 on the camera, saw that I was a little overexposed, so I changed to f11 in the app. And then the problem with that was that when I got kicked off, because the camera was still at f8, when I reconnected, it defaulted back to f8. And if I didn't catch that, I was once again overexposing. And because I was trying to drop that piece of paper, just precisely and get that caught, when I finally got it and thought, oh great, I think I got it, went and looked at them, I realized, oh shoot, I'm a stop overexposed again. So I think the lesson learned with that is when you make the adjustment in the and I was on manual mode, so when I made the adjustment in the app, I probably should have turned the aperture ring on the camera physically to f11 as well, in case I did get disconnected and had to go back. And I mean, it's a learning process, but that was a little bit frustrating. So today's shoot, I'm going to give it a 3. There's very few shoots that I do where I think that if the performance was consistently what it was today on the app, it just wouldn't work. The fact that I was shooting a simple product shot and I wasn't taking a ton of images made it doable. And I actually have a photo shoot coming up for one of these videos because the 100th video is coming up. I've got an idea for that 100th video, and it's going to be something like this in the studio, and I probably will shoot to the app. I will give it another shot and see how it goes, because that's a photo shoot that I think will work. But if I had people in here, or anything moving, or clients or anything like that where people are looking, the wait time just, at least today it was. I shot that self-portrait a couple videos ago and I had no problems with it that day. So I don't know, maybe it's me. Maybe if you guys know some tricks to making this app a little more efficient, let me know in the comments. By all means, you guys have taught me a whole bunch of stuff over the last several videos, and I greatly appreciate that. So even though I'm not completely thrilled with the app, at least by experience today, I am happy with the images. I think I got 3 or 4, maybe more. If I do some versions of the mask, I might put some wording on the mask. So I get a handful of shots that I can send into the stock agencies, and I will show you those images here. I don't, at this point, plan to do a whole lot of retouching. Maybe give them a little bit of saturation and some contrast, a little bit of cleanup if they need it. The background might need a little bit of cleanup, I'm not sure. But by and large, these are going to be straight out of the camera and off to the stock agencies within the week. That's the plan. Let me know what you think of the images. Let me know of certainly anything else that I missed using the app, but tethering is the way to go, so we're going to perfect this over time. And I guess that's it for today, guys. I appreciate you watching. As always, if you haven't subscribed, think about that. I appreciate everybody who has been subscribing. The number is starting to skyrocket, and I can't tell you how excited I am about that. Leave me a thumbs up if you would, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.